Hello pals, welcome to another tutorial. In today's tutorial we are going to be making this simple shift dress with a rope at the sleeve part. So I decided to wear this without the rope on the left side and with the rope on the right side. So which one do you prefer, with the rope or without the rope? I think I prefer without the rope. So if this is what you're interested in, you want to continue watching this video, click on the like button, subscribe to this channel, and let's get started. So this is the material I'm going to be using for this style. I have 2.5 yards here. So the first thing you want to do is to fold your fabric into two. So after folding your fabric into two, you are going to be marking out 1/2 inch at this upper part, because you don't want that printed part showing on your dress. So you're going to mark 1/2 inches all the way, and you're going to be really a straight line on this. So that is going to serve as your starting line. So while folding your fabric into two, you want to make sure that what you have folded is enough for your shoulder measurement and your sleeve measurement. I'm going to show you what I mean. So place your tape here and divide your shoulder measurement into two, then mark it out. Now from this point, now you are going to be taking your sleeve measurement. That's your sleeve length to your elbow line, where you want your sleeve to get to, because we are going to be cutting it together with the sleeve. So that is why I said when you are folding your fabric into two, make sure that what you have is enough to accommodate your sleeve and your shoulder measurement. So my sleeve is 12 inches. I'm going to add 1 inch to that, so that is 13 inches. So make sure that you fold what is enough to get your shoulder and your sleeve measurement. So now come down here and come down by 1 inch. So this 1 inch now is like the shoulder slope. So you are going to connect it towards the neckline like this. So after doing that, now I'm just going to cut off the excess. So now from this slope, you are going to be taking your round sleeve measurement. So mark out 10 inches. So if you are making this for a bigger person, you can do 12 inches. So just connect straight to this point like this. So it is at this point now that you are going to be taking your bust measurement. So now divide your bust measurement into 4 and mark that out. So I'm going to be marking mine. Then you are going to be adding 5 inches extra to it. So if you don't want it to be too wide, you can try to add 4 inches. But as for me, I added 5 inches. So go ahead and mark it. And what you are going to do is just connect from that sleeve part to the bust measurement point, just like that. Now take your tape and get your shoulder to hip measurement. So that was going to give you your hip line. So mark it there. Now you are going to be taking your hip measurement on this line. So divide your hip measurement into 4, and then you are going to be adding 5 inches to it. Remember, if you don't want it to be so big, you can just add 4 inches to it. So for me, I added 5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and mark 5 inches now. So now I'm going to connect from the bust point to the hip line like this. After this, now you are going to take your gown length measurement. So from your shoulder line, you are going to measure to where you want your gown length to be, your gown length measurement. So for me, my gown length measurement is 35. So I'm going to be adding 2 inches to that for the for hemming allowance and stitching allowance. So I'm marking 37. Now I'm going to be drawing a straight line across this point, and I'm going to connect from the hip line. So to connect from the hip line, what you are going to do is measure what you have on your hip line. Now I have 14 inches there. So now you are going to be going by 1 inch on your hem line. So instead of marking 14 inches, I'm going to be marking 13 inches. Now I'm going to connect from that hip line to this point. So you can see that it is not straight. You're not just connecting it straight down. So now you are going to come to the neck part and take your neck measurement. So you are going to be taking 3.5 by 3.5. So if you want your neckline to stop at to be close to your neck, then you can go down by 3 inches. So for me, I did 3.5 by 3.5. So that means you are going to be doing 3.5 by 3 inches. So that way it will be very close to your neck. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So we are not done with the neck part for this front part. So I'm going to be, there's a slit there, so I'm going to come down by 4 inches for the slit. So we have to mark a slit there. So I'm going to mark 4 inches, but I'm not going to cut out the slit yet. I'm going to be cutting out the back part first. So to cut the back part, fold your fabric into two also, and then you are going to be placing the front part on it. So you are going to be cutting out exactly the same. The only difference is going to be at the neck area. So at the neck area, you are just going to come down by 1 inch like this, and then you are going to connect it like this. So that's going to be the only difference between the front and the back, is in neck area. So just cut it out, then cut every other thing exactly the same. So after cutting this back now, you can now cut the slit, that 4 inches mark that we marked. So you are going to cut it to that point. So this is what I'm going to be using for the pocket. I have 12 inches by 7 inches here, and I have 2 pieces. So now I'm going to be folding this fabric into two. I'm going to be using it for the facing of the neck. So because of the slits that we have there, we want to turn it out, want to make that slit part to be very neat. So now I'm going to place this like this and cut out exactly the neckline, as you can see. So now I'm going to slit it to that 4 inches mark also. Now what you're just going to do is to cut it out. Just watch what I'm cutting. Just trim it off in an oval shape like this, and make sure that it's below the slit, so you can see what I have here. So now you are going to place it on the main fabric. So you are going to be turning out the facing. So what you just want to turn out is that slit part, just to give it a neat finishing. So when you get here, raise your footer up and then bring it up. So it's going to be like a V shape, the stitch that you are going to be having there. So after that, now you are going to be taping this one down once with your machine, just once, because you are going to be hemming it down. So now I'm going to go back to the machine and do exactly that. So I'm already done doing that. Now I'm going to be notching it. So notch that V part and notch it around. Now flip it to the wrong side because it's a facing, so you flip it to the wrong side this way, then arrange it properly. Then you are going to be ironing it down. You are going to iron it, and this round neck part, you are going to be pinning it down because we are not going to be turning that. So you are just going to top stitch on it. So here I'm going to be using my hemming gum to hem it down. So I already used my hemming gum on it, and this is what it looks like on the right side. You can see it's looking very neat. So now we are going to be fixing our pockets. So these are the pockets I cut out, and I'm going to be using tulle for the frills around the pocket. So I have 1 yard of tulle. So I'm going to do to the pocket is folding 1.5 inch, and then I'm going to be folding in 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to stitch it down, and I'll do the same thing to the second side. So after doing that, we'll be cutting out our tulle. So I'm already done stitching that. So now this 1 yard of tulle, we are going to cut it out. So what I'm going to do is fold it into two, so that it's going to be easier for me to fold. So I'm going to cut, rather I'm going to fold it into two this way. Now I'm going to be folding it again, like about 5 inches, because I want to cut out 5 inches from it. So I'm going to fold it, arrange it properly. Now I'm going to take my tape and mark out 5 inches with my chalk. So I'm just going to mark it on designated places, just for me to be able to trace out the 5 inches mark. Tulle is not very easy to work on like that. So now I'm going to use my scissors and just trace that chalk line, and then cut out 5 inches like that. So I'm cutting it like this so that it's going to be easier, more like I cut two together this way. So I'm just going to open it up so that I can have 5 inches single. I hope you get that. So now I'm going to be folding it again so that I can cut more. So I just like to cut as much as I want so that I don't have to come back and cut more. I didn't end up using the whole 1 yard, but I just don't want to give myself double work. So now this 5 inches, now what I'm going to do is you're just going to fold it into two, because we actually what you needed is 2.5 inches. So that's why we cut out 5 inches, so that by the time we fold it into two, we are going to have 2.5 inches. So this is what you are going to be pleating around the pocket. So now watch what I'm doing. I'm folding it upward. I'm folding like about 2 inches inward, like it's not inside, like upward on it, because I'm going to be stitching it on the right side of the pocket. Sure, you get what I'm saying? So just do exactly what I'm doing here. I'm going to keep pleating the tulle. So when I get to this junction now, I'll raise my footer up, flip the fabric around, then I'll keep pleating. Then when I get here also, I'm going to do the same thing. So let's go to the machine and do this. So this is it. I'm just going to fold in 2 inches like this before I start pleating on the right side. So I'm pleating it on the right side. So you just keep pleating, then you make sure that the 2 edges is mashed together so that it does not remove, it doesn't keep removing. You get what I mean? So make sure you mash the 2 edges together before you keep pleating. So now I'm going to pleat to this junction. So when I get to this junction now, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to raise my footer up now, then flip it around. Here you can see. So now I'm going to continue pleating the tulle all the way, and when I get to that other junction, I'm also going to do the same. So now my tulle is about to finish, so I'm just going to pleat everything here. Then I'm going to bring the new one, and then I'm going to pleat on the previous one. Then I'll continue pleating. I'm not going to start pleating from where it stopped. I'm going to pleat on the previous one, then I'll continue pleating. So to finish the end, I'm just going to do what I did at the starting. Also, I'm going to fold some inward, upward. I don't know if you understand what I mean. I don't want to say inward so that you don't feel like I'm folding it on the other side. I'm going to fold it on it like about 2 inches then, so that I can have that edge to be very neat. So this is what it looks like after fixing it, and I've done that to both. So now we're going to be fixing it on the bubu, on the dress. So now this is the front part. To know where we are going to be fixing the pocket, I'm going to be using like my navel length. So I want it to start somewhere after my navel. So my navel measurement is around 18 inches. So I'm going to mark about 18 inches. So that is where I'm going to start the pocket from. And I'm also going to mark it on the second side also, because we are fixing 2 pockets, of course. So now I'm going to be pleating, folding in 1/2 inch all around the pocket. So you know that I fix these frills on the right side. So because I fold 1/2 inch inward, so that's why it's laying flat. Now this is going to be the center. From these slits that we have upward is going to be the center. So I'm just going to use my ruler to indicate it, then mark a chalk there so that I can mark out there, I can know where the center is. So now I'm going to be making my pocket to be 2 inches away from the center. So I want the frill to be 2 inches away from the center. So if you want it closer, you can just make it 1 inch away from the center. So now this 1/2 inch that I fold in, that's what is making the frills to relax like this, to stay where it's supposed to be. So I'll keep fixing the folding 1/2 inch inward all around the pocket, including the lower part and the sides. So I'm going to fold it. So once I fold that 1/2 inch, the tulle is going to relax, going to stay where it's supposed to be, and I'm just going to be pinning it down. And I'm going to do the same thing to the second side. So I'm just going to top stitch on it. I'm just going to top stitch on the Ankara part all around the edges. So for the second part also, I'm going to place it 2 inches away from the center line. So when I'm done fixing this pocket, I'll just erase the chalk, because this is the right side. So I'm going to fold it by 1/2 inch also. The same thing I did to this side. I'm going to pin it all around. I will top stitch on it, and that will be all for the pocket. So I'm done fixing the pocket. The next thing to do now is to join the shoulders of the back to that of the front. So now I'm going to bring the back part, and I'm going to be pinning the shoulders together, and I'm going to be stitching it by 1/2 inch. So I'm going to be flipping this to the right side before I go ahead to stitch on it. So now I'm going to be stitching the shoulders by 1/2 inch on both sides. So after doing that, I'll come to this sleeve area. So on the sleeve part, I'm going to stitch 1/2 inch. Then on this side, I'm going to be stitching 1 inch all the way down, and I'm going to be doing the same thing to this second part also. So I'm done doing that, and I've turned it to the right side. So the next thing is to hem the sleeve. So I'm going to fold 1/2 inch inwardly like this, and then I'm going to be folding 1/2 inch again. So that means I'm folding 1/2 inch 2 times. Then I'm going to be stitching it all around. Then after doing that to both sleeves, I'll come to the lower part and I'll fold in 1.5. Then after folding 1.5, I'm going to be folding in 1/2 inch again, and then I'm going to be stitching it all around. I hope you get that. So this is it. I'm done doing all that. So now we are going to be piping the neck around. So I have 2 inches in width for this fabric that I cut out, and the length is long enough to go around. So I'm going to be folding this edge by 1 inch like this before I start piping it. So I'm going to be piping it from the wrong side, so I'm going to pipe it all around to the other side, and when I get to the end, I'm also going to fold it by 1 inch so that the edge can be neat. I hope you get that. So now from the wrong side, now I'm going to be flipping it to the right side. So I'm going to fold it in once like this, and then one another time, making 2 times. So I'm going to fold it in 2 times. So I'm going to fold it 2 times to be able to pipe it around the rough edge. So I'm going to be stitching it all around. So this is what it looks like. We are done doing that, and now we are going to be using this hook. So this is, they call it bra hook. So that's what I'm going to be fixing on the edge of the piping on both sides. So that's what we're going to be using for the neck. So I'm going to be fixing it on both edge. After this, we are going to be fixing the rope for the sleeve part. So we are going to be using this piece of fabric. It's 2 inches in width and 31 inches in length. So now what I'm going to do is to fold the tip. I'm going to tape the tip down like this. I'm going to do that on my machine on both sides, about 1/2 inch. So after that, I'm going to fold it once here, then on the second side, and I'm going to bring it together like this. So I'm going to stitch it all the way down. So this is the stitching. So now I'm going to be fixing it on the sleeve part. So I'm going to be sleeving it at the edge of the sleeve, inside the sleeve at the edge. So the center where I have joining on the shoulder, so that's where I'm going to fix it. So I'm just going to fix the center of it, just like tack it down. So now you're just going to tack it, not it the way you want to. You are going to do the same thing to the second side. So thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on your notification, give your comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.